everyone. In today's science lesson, we will continue Chapter 7, What Natural Resources Are. And we're going to be reading pages 110 through 113. I know that in your week 31 schedule, it says read pages 102 through 107. That was last week's homework. So it's actually 110 through 113. And you're completing pages 91 through 92 in your activity manual. I apologize for any confusion. So let's review what we learned last week. What is a natural resource? Natural resource is a material in nature that God made for people's use. In Chapter 7, we learned about 4 natural resources: water, soil, trees, and fossil fuel. And last week, we spent some time learning about the 4th natural resource, fossil fuel. Fossil fuels include things like oil, coal, and natural gas. How do we use fossil fuel? We use fossil fuels every day in our lives. We use it to have most of the electricity for heating, and even cars and many other machines are powered by using fossil fuel. So fossil fuel is important. Does that mean we should use it as much as we want? Not be a great idea because fossil fuels can cause pollution. And pollution means anything that makes water, air, or land dirty. Burning fossil fuel would make our air very dirty, and spilled oil can destroy plants and animals. So we should learn how to conserve. Conserve means to not waste and to use something wisely. Another reason to conserve fossil fuel is because we have a limit. That means we don't have endless amount of fossil fuel. Fossil fuel is made from remains, meaning leftovers of living things over a long period of time. Not just a couple of years, but over millions and millions of years. That means we won't be able to get more of it. And all we have right now is all of it. So we must conserve fossil fuel and other natural resources. Let's now move on to page 110. Page 110. Today in our lesson, we are going to learn how to conserve the natural resources God gave us. And we can help conserve by remembering the 3 R's, like the title. What words do you think the 3 R's stand for? Maybe reuse and reduce are part of the 3 R's because these words are bolded. Let's begin reading. The 3 R's. There are many things that you can do to help conserve the resources God gave us. A good way to conserve is to remember the 3 R's. The 3 R's stand for reuse, reduce, and recycle. Reuse. When we reuse, we use something again. Maybe the old towels at your house have become rags for cleaning. The towels are being reused. The plastic bags from the grocery store may become trash bags. The plastic bags are being reused in bathroom trash cans. You can find many ways to reuse things. You can cover an old can and use it to hold pencils. You may use an old shirt from your dad or big brother for an art shirt. Maybe something was delivered to your house in a box. That box can be reused to pack away other things. So what does reuse mean? Reuse means to use something again. What are some ways to reuse things? For example, you can reuse the old towels for cleaning. You can reuse plastic bags as trash bags. And you can reuse an old can to hold pencils. And you can also reuse an old shirt from your dad or your big brother for an art shirt. And you can even reuse a delivery box to pack away other things. How can you reuse things at home? Let's move on to page 111. Reduce. When we reduce, we use less of something. Many companies try to reduce. Some are using less paper. Most grocery store bags are used once and thrown away. Stores now offer bags that can be reused. This reduces the amount of plastic bags thrown away. Some items are sold in smaller packages. The smaller packages use less cardboard and plastic. There are many ways you can reduce. Turn off the water while you are brushing your teeth. Close outside doors when the heat or air conditioning is on. Turn off the lights when you leave a room. Use a lunchbox instead of a paper bag. Draw on both sides of a sheet of paper. What does reduce mean? Reduce means using less of something. How do companies try to reduce trash? Well, stores offer bags that can be reused, and this reduces the amount of plastic bags thrown away. Some items are in smaller packages, and this means less cardboard and plastic. What about at home? You can reduce the amount of water being used by turning off the water while you are brushing your teeth, and you can also close outside doors when heating or air conditioning is on, or turn off the lights when you're leaving the room so that you can reduce the amount of electricity being used. You can reduce the amount of trash by using reusable containers, so like lunchbox instead of paper bag, or by drawing on both sides of a sheet of paper. So there are many ways to reduce at home. And by reducing, we can help conserve natural resources. Let's move on to the next page. Recycle. To make something new out of an object is to recycle. Sometimes the new object is the same kind of thing as the old one. You can buy recycled note cards. They are made from paper that has been recycled. Some plastic bottles are made from the recycled plastic bottles. Tires may be cut up and used on playgrounds. Often, the new object is not the same as the old object. Plastic bottles can become picnic tables or park benches. Aluminum cans may become picture frames or keychains. Perhaps you use a box at home for recycling. This box is called a recycling bin. Items are put into the bin. Then the bin is placed on your street next to the trash can. Workers in a recycling truck pick up the items. You may need to go to a recycling center in order to recycle. This center has many bins. Your things must be sorted and put into the correct bins. Then the items can be recycled. There are many items you can recycle. Newspaper and cardboard can be recycled. You can also recycle aluminum, glass, plastic, and rubber. God gave us many natural resources to use. The 3 R's help us use these resources wisely. Even through small tasks, you can help conserve our resources. What does recycle mean? Recycle means to make something new out of an object. Like papers. Papers can be recycled to make things like new note cards. And plastic bottles can be recycled to make new plastic bottles. And some objects are recycled to make something completely different, like plastic bottles, for example. They can be recycled and become new plastic bottles, but they can also become picnic tables or park benches. Aluminum cans, like the soda can, can be recycled and become picture frames or keychains. Do you recycle at home? In Korea, people within an area have a set recycling day, and they take this pretty seriously. We also have recycling bin in our classroom. And by recycling, we can help conserve natural resources. Let's now move on to your activity manual, page 91. Page 91, numbers 1 through 3, you're going to draw the lines to match each word with the correct definition. You're going to try that on your own. For numbers 4 through 6, you're going to answer the questions. Your little sister has an old plastic wading pool. What are 2 other ways you could use that pool? So I want you to be creative and try to think of 2 ways, not one, but 2 ways to use this old plastic wading pool. You may have used this when you were a toddler. How can you reuse this in 2 other ways? Number 5. What is one way you can reduce the amount of electricity you use? There are many ways to reduce the amount of electricity, and you can actually go back to our book and see how you can reduce the amount of electricity. Number 6. What is something you can recycle? We learned about several things that we can recycle. You can go back to your book and then look for the answer. The back page, you're going to write the 3 R's that help us remember to conserve our natural resources. So you're going to write them on these blank lines, 1, 2, 3. Numbers 4 through 6, you're going to complete the definition. And the definitions are going to be about the 3 R's. That's it for today. Bye, everyone.